Welcome to AI for Good, the leading action-oriented, global and inclusive United Nations platform on AI. Organized by ITU, in partnership with 40 UN sister organizations, and co-convened with Switzerland. The goal of AI for Good is to identify practical applications of AI to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and scale those solutions for global impact. In today's session, we're counting on you to use the live video wall feature to ask questions and post comments to help create an engaging discussion. We encourage you to stay until the end to chat, connect, ask questions, and network with our distinguished panelists and world-class AI experts in the neural network. It is now time to kick off the session and welcome our first speaker. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AI for Good Innovation Factory. My name is Josh Choi from the International Telecommunication Union. I'm very, very happy to moderate today's Innovation Factory session. ITU is the United Nations Specialized Agency for ICTs, and we are also the organizer of the AI for Good Global Summit in partnership with 40 UN sister agencies and also co-convened in Switzerland. The Innovation Factory is a program launched in 2020 under the flagship initiative AI for Good Global Summit. It originally started as an online pitching platform for startups, and also it has been upgraded as a more like an accelerating program for now. And we help startups grow and scale their innovative AI solutions to particularly achieve the SDGs by providing various business opportunities, mentoring services and matchmaking with potential investors and partners, and then some prizes and etc. Today's session is the 7th of this year's series. The winner of each session is invited to the grand final at the end of the year. And through the year, not only the winner, but also the other best teams will be supported to grow and scale up through the help of our partners and startup accelerators and incubators, etc., so that we can trace how the Innovation Factory startups grow and evolve and are making impact through the year. Especially today's session invites Africa-based AI startups innovating agriculture who survived from a severe competition among nearly 20 teams. So we've got 4 finalists today. And also it is organized in partnership with the Finca Ventures, an impact investment firm headquartered in the US, which has also invested in many promising startups in Africa too. All right, so we've got some benefits for the winner today. So I'd like to share a slide that presenting some of the benefits that we are going to offer the winner. So firstly, the winner will receive the grand finale demo day ticket at the end of this year. And also they got to feature the startup benefits in the Innovation Factory exhibition on the AI for Good neural network, which is the online virtual networking platform where thousands of AI experts are gathering, then they showcase, and also they have a lot of discussions through the AI for Good sessions and etc. So you will have a very interesting opportunity to raise your visibility of your solutions and business to the wide range of AI experts from the globe. And also we provide the follow-up mentoring session provided by Finca Ventures, and also give the networking opportunities with the United Nations and other potential business partners. All right, so now let me introduce our judges today. So firstly, we have Zahoro Muaji, who is the CEO of Tanzania Startup Association. So hi, Zahoro, can you turn on your camera? Hello, Zahoro, can you hear me? Yeah, please turn on your camera, please. Okay.
It's on.
Yes. Yep. So we are okay, we are live. So okay.
Yeah,
so Zahoro, thank you very much for joining us today. So can you please just introduce briefly about yourself and your organization as well?
Okay. So my name is Zahoro Muhaji, and I'm a CEO for Tanzania Startup Association. Tanzania Startup Association is an Apex membership body or organization which brings together the stakeholders of startup ecosystem here in Tanzania. And the main aim of our organization is to represent and advocate and lobby for interest of startups within Tanzania. So we've been working with government, development partners, also private sector to make sure that interests of startups are represented in a much wider area in terms of policies, laws, regulations, etc. That's the brief overview of the organization I work with, and I work as a CEO, as I said. But on a personal touch, I'm also an entrepreneur with experience of working in entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem for more than 10 years. I've established and run my own businesses, but also I sit on numerous boards, both private and public boards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zauro. And also, as far as I understand, the Tanzania Startup Association also is working together with also other countries and the startups as well to help each other for more like global, expansion of each startups in North Africa continent, but also other continents as well. So I think this will be also a very good opportunity for you. And also, I hope you guys can meet a really interesting startups so that you can build more collaboration between your organization and some startups who are going to pitch today. Thank you very much.
For sure, excellent.
All right. Okay, and also we have Mr. Vitaly Kleban, who is a serial inventor, entrepreneur, and technology architect. He's now the co-founder and CTO of EveryNet. He has advised and mentored the hundreds of startups around the globe for the last few years, and also has contributed a lot to the Innovation Factory program. So Vitaly, nice to meet you again. Can you turn on your camera? Okay, great. Okay, so can you please tell us about your recent experience of consulting and advisory work for startups, and or if any lessons you want to share with us?
So I work as the Chief Technical Officer in a company called EveryNet. And what EveryNet is doing is we build and operate large-scale, low-power, wide-area networks. And one of the main use cases for such networks is actually smart farming. So I think EveryNet is starting proof of concepts in this area on a daily basis. So I think I've seen quite some interesting startups in a smart farming. And of course, the main challenge for such startups is actually the low cost data acquisition, because the margins are very small in farming. But also, the climate problem becomes more and more, sophisticated, and the reason is it's not just getting hotter, but the weather becomes very unpredictable. So we need more smart farming to actually be able to ensure the crops, ensure the yields, and ensure the farming industry. So I think that this is a very interesting field, and I believe that the startups in this competition are able to bring something new to the area.
Yeah, wonderful, Vitaly. So thanks a lot for your participation again this year, this time. And also, well, definitely you can also provide a lot of really interesting insight to the startup, especially from the perspective that you also mentioned about smart farming and also your technology. So yeah, I hope we can really build a really mutual benefit between you and the startups today. Thanks a lot again. All right, so thank you. All right, so last but not least, and Ms. Jacqueline Kigma is with us. So she is the investment associate at the Finca Ventures, the official partner of the Innovation Factory program. So Jacqueline, thank you for joining us today. And can you briefly introduce yourself and also Finca's investment in African startups so far?
All right, thanks a lot, Josh, also for extending the invite to this panel. So an introduction on myself. So as Josh mentioned, I'm Jacqueline Kehima. I work as an investment associate for Finca Ventures. So I'm part of the Nairobi team. So the rest of my team is also based in Washington, D.C. Just a brief introduction on Finca Ventures. So we're an early stage impact investor that has been investing in sub-Saharan Africa since 2018. We are an offshoot of a larger organization of microfinance institutions globally, Finca International, that currently has almost over 40 years of operations across the globe and operating in 20 countries globally. So primarily when we are looking at investments in the sub-Saharan Africa space, we typically invest from their seed to their Series A rounds, writing check sizes of close to 100 to 200K, the first investment round. Yeah, and typically looking at ag tech, fintech, health tech, and ed tech solutions. So this platform is good to actually get to interact with such models across the space. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. And also, especially as the Finca Ventures is working with the African startup a lot. So I think these sessions will provide a mutual benefits and opportunity for both sides of the Finca and the startups here. So I hope you guys also will see the very interesting ideas and solutions and everything. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much again. All right, great. So thanks a lot to all our judges for taking your time today. And I'm also very happy to have such a wonderful judging board today. Especially for those who are watching this session, please note that you can leave questions in AI for Good Neural Network chat room. So just ask any questions that you'd like to ask to the startups, and then any questions about their solutions, whatever. And also, apart from the Q&A session with the judges and those founders of the startups today, also we'll be very willing to answer through this chat room to be able to solve your curiosity about their solutions and business models and the technologies. All right, so now let us move on to today's pitching competition. So, okay, so the pitching order is firstly Kitovu Technology, and then second team is Grekkon, and the third team is SmartPlant AI, and the last team is DRAZO Logistics. So we are going to give 5 minutes pitch for each startup, and 10 minutes Q&A with judges will be followed. So when just 1 minute left, and I'm going to allow you guys, the founders of startup today, and so that you guys can keep 5 minutes timing. All right, and also judges, please use a scoring card as I shared with you via the chat room. And then every time a startup finish the pitch and they put your score, and then after that, after all 5 teams finish the pitch, and then you will have a separate time in a separate calling to make the final decision on who is going to be winner. All right, so now I'm going to invite the first team, Kitovu, from Nigeria. So Kitovu Technology company provides African smallholder farmers with a climate-smart farm and post-harvest infrastructure to optimize their productivity and earn more from their farms. So we have Emeka today. So Emeka, please, can you share your screen and then you can start your pitch? So stage is yours. Okay, we can see your presentation, so you can start.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Josh. Hello, everyone. My name is Nwachine Emeka. I'm the founder and CEO of Kitovu Technology Company, a startup that builds climate-smart farm and post-harvest infrastructure for African agriculture. This night, 179 million smallholder farmers are going to go to bed hungry. And that's not because they are not hardworking. In fact, they are one of the most hardworking people that I know. A few years ago, while I was volunteering for an NGO in North Central Nigeria, I met Hawa. Hawa is one of Nigeria's 64 million smallholder farmers who produce over 80% of all the food we eat. But it's a tough nut for Hawa to crack to find decent food to eat. And why? because Hawa and smallholder farmers like her typically rely on guesswork to make most of their operational decisions in the face of climate change. They don't also have access to financing for quality inputs. Neither do they have access to effective storage for their harvest. As a result, not only are their crop yields very low, but they lose up to 40 to 60% of everything they produce every single year. We started Kitovu to solve this problem for Hawa and smallholder farmers like her. At Kitovu, we've built a suite of digital infrastructure that is helping farmers optimize their productivity from input to market. First, we provide them satellite-based agronomic advisory that not only gives them the best advisory on how to go about farming, but also matches them to the best inputs. At harvest, they are able to decide how to sell and when to sell, and we match them to market through our e-procure service. But if they don't want to sell, we offer them access to our storage service, which allows them to not just store on a postpaid basis, but we issue them electronic warehouse receipts that turns their goods under storage into an asset that serves as a collateral to receive further financing. Our solution is powered by our Ninja AI, which works by, first of all, collecting different kinds of data sets, analyzing it to be able to provide the different suites of services that will provide smallholder farmers. We make money on a postpaid subscription base of $14.5 per hectare for our YieldMark service, and we charge the current market rate for inputs like fertilizer, seeds, and chemicals. We charge $6 per ton for our postpaid storage services, and we charge a 13% margin on farm gate prices on the buyer, not the farmer, for our e-procure service. We are playing in a very big market. However, we are thinly focused on 2.29 million smallholder farmers with a market size valued at about $500 million across the demand for inputs and commodities in the grain and cassava value chains. However, we are hardly alone in this market, but our key differentiators is our ability to provide personalized agronomic advisory for the farmer that is climate smart, combined with the fact that we provide end-to-end support for farmers from inputs to market, and all this without the farmer having to bear the burden of paying upfront for this. We have a stellar team with a combined 67 years experience across operations, agronomy, technology, and sales. Working together, we've been able to train 317 agents with whom we've worked with to provide services to over 12,000 smallholder farmers, achieving over $230,000 in revenue to date. These farmers have been able to increase their crop yields by 30%, cut down their input costs by input optimization by 20%, achieve 100% access to markets, increase their annual incomes by 40%, and in addition, we've also enabled a savings of about 180,000 tons of CO2 emission annually. For us, we know that there is still more that we can do, and that's why our growth plan is focused on expansion, not just geographically, but also in terms of the value chain that we play. We want to extend to other African countries, enter into other value chains, and also expand our products to give farmers different services that can optimize what they do from end to end. When we carefully execute on this, it will not only expand our revenue stream, but it will help us build a moat around our important assets, smallholder farmers. And that's why we are looking to raise $1 million, split evenly across equity and debt. These funds will be channeled into product development, marketing and sales, working capital, and to finance our buy now, pay later plan. It will allow us to create income earning opportunities for 1,000 new agents, onboard and service over 50,000 smallholder farmers, and keep us on track with our goal to hitting $1 million in annual revenue by 2027. Kitovu is looking to transform African agriculture. Join us as we transform African agriculture, one Hawa at a time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emeka. You are perfectly on time, exactly 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's move on to the Q&A session. So you can stop screen share, Emeka, and then anyone can start the question, Vitaly, Jauro, Jacqueline, whoever. Yeah, so
I have a question. Yeah. So you were speaking about the personalized agronomic advice. How does it look like? So what is exactly included into this advice? And that's the first question. And the second question is, what would happen if you are wrong with this advice?
Thank you very, very much. That's a very, very incredible question. So first of all, the components of the advisory that we'll provide, it includes things like fertilizer recommendation. So we take into account the condition of the soil and the particular crop that the farmer is going to, farm, and recommend soil and crop specific fertilizers. But in addition, based on the distribution of the soil and the nutrient levels, we are able to recommend for the farmer how to apply the fertilizer, what quantities to put in each portion. Aside that, we rely on things like water stress analysis, weather reports, to recommend to farmers when to carry out their farm operations. So for instance, you want to use a particular herbicide that is what we call a contact herbicide. If a farmer goes ahead and applies it on a day that it rains, he will come out and say, oh, this contact herbicide is fake, whereas the rainfall has neutralized it. Now, if we are wrong, it would create lots of other side effects. For instance, if we over-recommend fertilizers, let's say a soil is already high in potassium, and we recommend more than the potassium that the soil needs, it could lead to the poisoning of the soil. So that's why we are very, very careful with our recommendations to ensure that we are giving farmers the right information per time.
Thank you very much. So you also mentioned that, you also mentioned that your subscription is $14 per hectare. And what is actual margin per hectare for the farmer? How much do they make per hectare? Are they able to pay $14 per hectare?
Yeah, thank you very, very much. So the farmers are able to pay for it based on the way that we structured it. So we know that most smallholder farmers in Nigeria and by extension Africa have very, very low purchasing power. So how we've designed our product is such that it is not only postpaid, but we try to bundle it with actual inputs. Now, by the time the farmers uses this, it allows them to be able to increase their yields by about 30%. Now, that increased yield not only allows them to be able to afford that, but it also allows them to make better profits than they would have.
Thank you.
So thanks a lot, Emeka, for that presentation. So my question was around the accuracy of the agronomic advisory service that you currently offer. What percentage accuracy is it?
So right now, percentage accuracy is around 95%. And where we have challenges in terms of accuracy, it's around rainfall for now. But we are hoping that as we have more data, we'll be able to optimize for that.
And what would you say is the secret sauce of your business per se? I know that the data, you receive it from global satellites. So is there anything, an AI, an algorithm that then you're able to translate this data into fine-tuned data?
Yes. So most times, a lot of people who provide satellite services for farmers end up just sending images to farmers. Farmers don't even know what to do with these images. Now, our platform allows us to transform all those information that is locked into those images into actionable intelligence, telling the farmer what to do per time. So the farmer is not just tasked with looking at this allure of data, but it's actually actionable for him. But that's not just all. Additionally, we do not just try to help farmers optimize yield, but we make sure that there is value in the yield that he optimizes by connecting them to market, by connecting them to storage and additional finance. Our storage as a service solution alone enables farmers to increase their sales price of their commodities by about 40%. So our ability to combine an end-to-end offering for farmers is actually our secret sauce.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Jauro, do you have any question?
Yes. I do have a question. Mike, can you hear me? Can you hear me correctly?
Crystal.
Okay. My question is, I've seen that you also offer storage for farmers. You connect them with a nearby storage with the farmers who are interested to store their produce. As much as I know, I don't know in your country, but in my country, that's the biggest problem with post-harvest. Post-harvest currently standing at 40%, meaning that in every 1 ton of maize farmers do harvest, they lose about 400 kg. So to me, that's the biggest opportunity or the biggest market is on a post-harvest than on actual farming. So I wanted to know more, what's the big, if I were to invest in your product, I would be more interested in knowing on a post-harvest side where storage comes in. I want to know how potential that market is, and it seems it's one of the segment of your business. How do you actually have any plans or strategies to actually grow that that segment? And if you do, what's your strategy?
Thank you very much, Zahoro. That's a very insightful question. Like you said, it's actually a very significant problem, and also holds a significant growth opportunity for us. And like you rightly posited, there is lots of opportunity there. When we launched the Storage X service, in just 2 weeks of carrying out stakeholder engagement, we had 36,000 farmer interest in 2 states of Nigeria alone. We couldn't service them all. Now, we realized that there are 2 main constraints that stops farmers from taking advantage of even any available storage. One, apart from the fact that they don't easily have access to storage, the other is they cannot pay upfront for distance. The second component is that at harvest time, farmers are usually very pressed to get some money to meet pressing financial obligations. So what our system does is, first, the farmers bring their produce to our infrastructure. We test for moisture with our moisture meters. After testing, we determine whether it's at the acceptable threshold to be stored. We weigh, and then we issue the farmers an electronic warehouse receipt. That allows the farmer to borrow up to 50% of his goods under storage, right? He stores for a duration of between 4 to 6 months, and then he can sell and make money through market price appreciation. Now, in terms of scale, we are always on the lookout for our path to scale in terms of other African countries, is that we're looking out for strategic partners, agribusinesses who already have boots on ground that we can work with. But it remains one of the easiest way for us to scale, in the sense that when we have farmers who have used the Storage X services, it's always very easy to upsell our other services to them. So it's something that we are doubling down on at the moment.
Okay, I think it's time to finish for now. So Emeka, thank you very much for your presentation. It was a really excellent pitch, and also thanks a lot for your great answers to the also very interesting questions from the judges. Some of the questions definitely a little bit challenging, but you answered it very, very well, and that's a good luck to you. Thank you very much. All right, so
Thank you,
the
Josh.
judges, thank you very much. So, okay, the judges, so if you haven't yet finished your scoring, please take your time to put some score for the team. And then we can move to the next team. So, okay, so after Kitovu, we have now Grekkon from Kenya. So we have Amangi here. So Grekkon specialized in irrigation, greenhouse, and allied technologies such as the construction of dryers and supply of non-soil growing media, seeding trays and the mulching papers. So now we have Amangi to be able who will present their business model and solutions. And then stage is yours. You're muted.
Thank you very much, Josh. My name is Wamai Mwangi, a director at Grekkon Limited. Grekkon is a Kenyan company that's headquartered in Nairobi, but we work across several African countries. We are an irrigation systems company, and irrigation, as the world goes through the ravages of climate change, irrigation is becoming a critical factor for any farmer that chooses to produce commercially. In Africa, particularly East Africa, it's a very water scarce region, which brings about suboptimal commercial crop production. Irrigation costs are high, and of course, this turns out to low agricultural incomes. So we have come up with a technology after working with farmers for 5 years in irrigation, asking us how are they going to save their water? How can they cut down on the high cost of irrigation? We decided to develop the remote irrigation moisture sensors that work with through AI and incorporate machine learning. So currently, this is a technology that is in use by the big farms, the farms that are doing fruit export, ornamental export, vegetable exports from East Africa to the Middle East and to Europe. So we have customized this technology and localized it for small and medium scale holders. At a glance, the market right now is at a minimum of $80 million supplied by 2 key companies in East Africa. Now, the beauty of it is that there is no company, with the exception of Grekkon, that has had a direct focus on the medium and small local holder farmers to cascade down this technology to them. So in our target market, our long-term plan from January 2024 is to move into Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania commercially. This will cover the innovators and the first adopters. We intend to cover over 292,000 acres with a business value of $19 million over a span of 5 years. Now, how do the moisture sensors work? There are 2 components. We have the hardware and we have the software. So the hardware is placed in different locations in the farm in a laid out format, and it communicates to the farmer's phone remotely, irrespective of where they are in the world, on alerts them to irrigate or alerts them to cease irrigation. This way the crop is never overwatered, nor is it underwatered. Every drop is optimized. And besides that, we're able to collect a lot of data. We collect the soil type, the location, the irrigation pattern, the amount of water supplied per unit, the acreage, all this data is collected. So the key benefits are: 1, the farmer has control over the irrigation system. They are not at the mercy of whoever is in the farm or the imagination. From our trials in our prototype, we were able to cut down irrigation costs and conserve water by between 25 to 30%. We're able to increase income yield by between 12 to 15%, and ultimately gross margins went up by between 35 to 45%, depending on the crop, depending on the soil type, depending on the location of the farmer. So currently, where we are, we have trialed the prototype with 500 farmers covering 125 acres in Kenya. The key considerations are: one, affordability, it must not exceed $50 per acre; longevity, it must be used for at least 5 years; and accuracy of data for decision making. So we are asking for $125,000 to move into the pilot phase. We are looking to roll out to 5,000 smallholder farmers with a combined acreage of 2,500 acres in Kenya from June 2023. This is about half an acre for every farmer. Now, our go-to-market strategy in the long term will be: one, introduce it to our 25,000 existing clients through our 7 branches in Kenya. In Uganda, we'll partner with the government through the micro-scale irrigation program sponsored by the World Bank. In Tanzania, we'll partner with the Ministry of Agriculture through the famous SAGCOT program. And again, open a branch in Kampala, Uganda, and Arusha in Tanzania by 2024. And ultimately have a branch in Morogoro and Mbeya in Tanzania in 2025 and 2026, respectively, again in the SAGCOT region. So the graphs here illustrate how we are going to derive these numbers, and a significant chunk of it will come from Tanzania for the reason that it's the largest country in the region. So the team here, where there is my co-director Erastus and I as the leaders, our project managers for this specific project, we have Kenya here and Liz. And then we do have a team of agronomists, 3 agronomists, Cynthia, Jacinta, and David. We have our software engineer, Peter, who is here with us, and we have our water engineer leading this project. So Grekkon Limited supplies various irrigation technologies, pumps, greenhouses, and water conservation technologies. We have 7 branches in Kenya, started operations in 2017. The company has a team of 25, and we have worked across 7 African countries. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, Mangi, you can stop screen sharing for now. So let us move to the Q&A session for 10 minutes. So anyone from judges would like to ask questions, just turn on your camera and just start your question, please.
I have a question. So you say that you deploy sensors and to the field, right? And what type of connectivity is used for these sensors? So how these sensors are connected to the phone or laptop or whatever?
All right. Peter, do you mind taking that?
Yeah, let me take that. So after the sensors are imported, we customize them ourselves with our team. We use technology called Internet of Things, or IoT. So basically, the sensors, they transfer the data to the cloud, where we can access the data and the farmers can also access the data. So they need to have a mobile phone, which it can be or a computer, so that data is transferred to their mobile phone at home.
All right. So
yes.
And how do you use artificial intelligence exactly?
Okay, so the part where we use artificial intelligence is after we collect the data, because each data is different depending on maybe the type of soil and the type of crop they are irrigating. So the amount of water irrigated per session is different for each farmer. And we use that data to understand, depending on the amount of water, to understand the pattern and to understand the pattern where, for instance, okay, let me give you an example of the northern part of Kenya, which is dry. Yeah. So the amount of water used in the northern part of Kenya is not the same as the one used in the less dry parts of Kenya. So we use the data collected we use the data collected from the farmers. We use the data collected from the farmers. We use the data collected from the farmers to understand better the pattern they should use to irrigate their farms.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
So thanks a lot, Wamai, for that presentation. So my question is around the hardware component. Where do you source this from? And is also the software bit, is the tech proprietary to Grekkon?
I'll speak about the hardware, Peter will speak about the software. So we have GrowPoint, a Canadian company that we got from the first samples for trials. But once we get to the next stage, we're also looking at other sources. We use them because they were reputable. We had encountered some of their work somewhere, and we thought to start with them and now set our standard based on that. Peter?
Hello, Mr. Mai.
Yes, for the software, she's asking about
okay.
this.
For the software, we developed the software with my team that collects the data from the sensors. And then we use that data to send signal to the farmer whenever they're supposed to irrigate their farm. So if the data collected, we use something called TDT. So it stands for domain transmissometry technology, which is used to measure the moisture content, because you can't like measure the amount of water in the soil. So we use this technology to actually measure the time taken for an electromagnetic wave to travel along a given length of a transmission line in the soil. So if there is moisture in the soil, so they have the moisture content surrounding that area that is being tested, that is within the range of the sensor. If they have the moisture content surrounding that area, the slower the signal travels. So there's no way you can like measure the real amount of water. So that is the technology we use. So then the sensor sends the signal to our system. Then the system interprets the signal depending on the percentage of moisture in the soil.
Okay, and did you develop this tech? Sorry, Peter, to interrupt you. Did you develop this tech in-house?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the head of the team.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Sorry. I panic around people. That's why. But I'm the head of the team.
All right. You did great.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so have you patented this technology or not yet?
No, not yet, because we were on the prototype part of the project. So we wanted to patent the project after we go to the pilot phase.
All right. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for that.
Yes.
Okay. I have a question. I don't know if that bit will switch on my video or not. But anyway, my question is, I saw it on your pitch deck. You claim that you say that you collect lots of data. So I want to know, what's your plan on monetizing this data you collect? It's just you collect that you can just share back to your customers, or there's a plan, there's other second option of you monetizing this data with other companies or organizations which they're in need of this data, because data is now one of the big business in the country. So I want to understand your strategy around the data you collected. You just store it, or you just commercialize it and outside your organization, or you just kept for you only for the customers there who are currently using the products? Thank you.
Thank you, Zahoro. Yes, we do plan to monetize the data over time, and it's only that I couldn't put all the details here. But the slides that I shared for the judges, there are some notes beneath the slides, and they show how we arrived at those figures. And one of the things you'll pick out over there is the revenue we intend to pick from monetization of that data, because this kind of data is very unusual. Actually, right now, even getting data for irrigation in East Africa is very, very difficult. And many times we have had organizations come to us, we have had governments come to us as an irrigation company, and they ask for this data and they're willing to pay for it. And we don't have this data. When you go to government offices, their data is very scanty and oftentimes doesn't add up pretty well. So with time, this data will not only be a lot of data out there, but it's going to be highly granular data that actually speaks to individual locations, individual crops, soils, farmers, very well elaborated data. So yes, we intend to do that.
Okay, well, I think it's time for us to stop finish the Q&A session now. So thanks a lot again, Mangi, and then also thanks a lot for your excellent presentation. Also, the Q&A session was great. I learned a lot, so good luck to you. So now let's move to the next page, SmartPlant AI from Cameroon. So we have Sajang, who is the founder of the SmartPlant AI. The SmartPlant AI is a digital mobile application using AI and machine learning to facilitate plant analysis with the prevention for farmers and access to microloans for local small holders. So Sajang, stage is yours, and then please share your screen and then start your pitch. So you've got 5 minutes.
Hello, are you getting me?
We can hear you, and then yes, please share your screen. Yeah, you can see your screen, and then you can hear your voice. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, please click Pataje. I see. Oh no, Pataje. Yeah, sorry. Okay, please go on. You're on mute. You're muted.
Are you getting me right now?
Yes, please start. Okay, you can start now.
Our startup is called SmartPlant AI, boost your production rather than losing. So I will start with a little story. In 2018, during the holidays in my village, I went to the farm with my father to cultivate. So when reaching there, we saw some of the part of the plantation that was very bad, and this is because of insect. So at that time, he tried to call an engineers to at least do analyzing of the farm. The engineer give him like a cost price of 20,000 francs CFA. So it was very expensive for us to give the engineer that amount. So just after that, we just noticed that the others too was having the same issues of insect. So we tried to look another issue for that. We did not find. It's from that we saw that this problem is a very huge problem for small holders. Also, we saw that is a limited access to agricultural engineers, and there is a limited financial support for farmer and smallholder here in our country. So the opportunity is very huge because we saw Plantix and Plant Village. Plantix, one of the India startup that have like more than 70 million active users worldwide, and one of the Tanzania platform called Plant Village Nuru that have reached like more than 10,000 active users in Africa. And one of our main market size is Africa, and we are going to start with Cameroon first before moving to other country. Our main targeted as farmers and small medium enterprises. We came up with a solution called SmartPlant AI, a mobile application that uses AI and machine learning to facilitate plant analysis with prevention for farmer and access to microloans for local smallholders. Features are like plant analysis, live discussion with an expert. For that, this part is specially for premium users. At the end now, we have the microloans functionalities. This is our demo, how the app look like. And this is a part of engineering. When you are in the field and maybe you saw your farm have gotten bad, so you try to call directly. You see the list of agricultural that are online. You try to call one directly, and he will give you some input or recommendation to make. And the last screen is the screen for smallholders to make a request for a loan, so they can get small loans, either physical or financial, for their farms. Right now, we are in the beta test, and we are testing the mobile app with more than 122 pilot farmers, and we have like up to 10,000 on our waiting list right now. So our business model is made of three parts. The first one is $12 subscription for premium users, and 2.5% for any interest rate for microcredit. And lastly is a download of the mobile app. So we are going to reach the market by two ways. The first one is physical, via workshop with farmers and smallholders, promotion, and meet others on startup events. The second one is digital, so through Facebook, Link, and Instagram. So our competitor right now, one of our competitor, we have three competitors right now. Agritech is one of the local competitor, Nuru app, one of the Tanzania app, and lastly India. So our main advantage over them is that we give a possibility to premium user a thermal bag. With the climate change that is disturbing here in our country, they can have a thermal bag to keep their food. And secondly, we have Total Energy that have accepted the project to help us during the launching. One of our goals in the next 6 months is to reach more than 100,000 transactions. And we are looking to raise in our pre-seed funding 150,000 in order to open new branches in Chad, in Nigeria, hire new developers, and start organizing workshops with local farmers. Our growth in the 6 months is that with the 100,000 subscription, we are going to have more income of 70% and 20 more employees. And one of the expected income at the end of the 6 months is $1 million. So the team are made of youth, talented and experienced entrepreneurs. We have me, Asaja Enrique, the CEO. We have one Tanzania, Chimozo Panda, that is in charge of our data analysis. We have one of our friends, a currently entrepreneur, Tyra Franken. We have two other people, Velma D, community manager, and one of our tester. And lastly, one of our advisor at external relations, Mr. Bynam D. Joseph. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Hassan, for your presentation. Okay, let us move to the Q&A session. So any judges would like to start your question, please turn on your camera and then start your question, please. Okay, it's Vital as always. Go on.
Yeah, so I just want to follow the pattern, right? I just missed one thing. So why do you need an office in Paris?
Yeah, we want to move globally. So we want to move to Paris because we want to, during our fundraising process, we had a chance to meet one of the TechStars alumni that told us that why not moving to Paris or open a branch there in order for you to get the global investor fast and launch your fundraising there than here, because especially in Africa, in Cameroon here, the Francophone zone is very complicated for us to raise funding. So he asked us, no, come to Paris, open one of your branch there so that at least it will be easier for you to raise funding with the startup. I said, all right, I will look at it.
Right. So you have basically like 3 products in one. One is about the plant analysis. Another one is live discussions with an expert. And as far as I understand, these discussions are about the health of the plant, right?
Exactly.
And the last one is the microloan.
Exactly.
So, you know, on how do you think the value is distributed among all of these 3 offerings? Like, why you said you have 10,000 farmers in the waiting list, which is all right, but what are they expecting the most? Are they expecting plant analyses, or are they expecting discussions with the expert, or do they expect the microloans?
All right. From my experience until now, I think what they will need the most from the 3 part is the financial or the microcredit for them to buy input goods for their plantation. Yeah. So that's why we came out with this part in order for them to at least use the app and make the app known.
All right. So how do you use the artificial? Well, if it's your main thing that you do, right? One of the main value propositions is microloans. How do you use artificial intelligence to to help with this loan? So is there any use of this?
Yeah, from what I showed is 3 part. The first one is the plant analysis. So when farmers when farmers see their leaves very bad, or they cannot maybe know the cause of that, what they can do with the phone, the mobile app, is that they can snap or they can take a picture with the app, and the app will do a small analysis, tell them that, all right, this plant is gotten bad because of that, and maybe use this type of ingredients or inputs for you to grow, so that next time he will not get bad. So you understand a bit?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So Asir, I had a question. Basically, how do you create local awareness of your products to the farmers?
Yeah. Right now, as I say, we have like 122. What we did is that my father has a farmer. We are reaching some villages. Like right now, we have reached already 4 villages, and in each of them, my father is an expert of agriculture. He talks to them on what we are proposing with the local language, so that at least they understand what we are doing here. So what we are doing is that we reach some different localities, talk to them, present the solution that we did, that we are still working on. And when they accept, or when they see the needs of that, they can test. So when they do the test now, they can give us some feedback after like 2-3 days or 1 week. Secondly, there are a lot of events here. So we reach some of them through events. We go with their roll-ups, banners, assets. We reach there and we present, we showcase the app so that they know the solution, they know what to do with it. So these are 2 types of marketing strategy that we are adopting here in our local area.
And basically, how easy is it for a farmer to use your product? Could you kindly elaborate on how the process goes from your first interaction with that farmer to the point where they're using it to analyze their plants?
All right, they install the app on their phone. After installation, they create a account with their phone number, exactly like WhatsApp. You just type your number and he connects, send you the OTP, you connect. After connection, now you have the home page. You as I've shared, let me share just that part so that you see it. So you have this home page where you will see the radar, and now you have like 3 different icons: take a picture, read the diagnostic, or take a picture. When you click on take a picture, you have the second screen where you scan. After scanning, is it 100% confidence or 80%? Yeah, are you getting me?
Hey, Sejang, actually, we lost your connection just for a few seconds. So could you please just repeat? Perhaps you can turn off your camera if there is connectivity issues, and then just give us continue answer. Yes.
All right, so sorry. Yeah.
So Asa, you're on mute if you're speaking.
Yeah, you are mute.
Oh la la. Okay, let me just explain. You register first. After registration, right? You put your number. You will receive an OTP. You put the numbers. You connect. In the home page, you have a weather. He will tell you the weather of your country or your region. Now he will ask you either to take a picture or see a list of news, things like that. And when you click on take a picture, he will redirect you to the camera. You take a picture of the lift. Automatically, like 2 minutes after, he will show you the accuracy of the plant analysis. He will show you the name of the plant and the disease. So just at the end now, you have like 3 prevention methods that you have to adopt. So at the end, you have a button, meet an engineers if you want. If not, you can just lift from there. When you click now on meet an engineer, that's where our business model comes from. You pay us $12. This part is a premium user to have the list of engineers, either national or international. You call out one of them that are online. From then now, he will give you the very basic items or things that you have to do right now before moving. Voilà. So after now, you can book another meeting with him or not, depends of you. For the micro loans too, there is a button for micro loans. You click on I want a micro loans for my inputs, or I need something urgent right now. Like, yes, I cannot buy those, or I cannot afford to pay the engineer. So what I can do, I can maybe apply for a launch, and you get the launch in the 24 hours directly on your phone number. From then now, you pay the engineers so that he came and made the analysis of your plant or of your lift.
Okay, great. Thanks for that.
All right.
One question. I have a simple one question. I've heard about your pitch, and you have a lot of products bundled in one. So I want to ask you, do you regard yourself as an agri-tech startup, or a fintech startup? I am asking this with idea in mind that you said you also offer loans. So I want to know, are you do you refer yourself as an agri-tech company or a fintech company? And because I know these two, while they may look the same, but they're technically not the same. These are two different sectors and might require two different skill sets. To run an agri-tech company in a space of agriculture and to offer loans, this now you turn into finance industry, and it has its own disciplines and know-how and experience. So I want to get a bit of clarity on that. What are you? Are you an agri-tech or fintech company? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zauro, for the questions. I'm a agri-tech company. So for the part of the loans, we have signed a partnership with a fintech company called Sahel Fund here in Cameroon that offer loans. So with them, we are in collaboration for all farmers that need loans, so they can make loans directly on the app, and Sahel Fund will be in charge for the financial support. I hope you understood the answer.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Zhang, for your presentation. Also, your kind answers to all the questions from the judges. All right, so it's time to finish our session for you here. So thanks a lot again for your excellent presentation. Okay, now let's move to the last page from the DRAZO. So DRAZO from Uganda. So DRAZO Logistics was incorporated to solve the inefficiencies faced by Uganda's commodity supply chain by creating a platform that connects farmers to transporters and buyers directly, seamlessly through a mobile application. So stage is yours. We have, are you ready?
Yes, hello everyone. This is Rashid, CEO and founder.
Rashid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Rashid. Okay, so stage is yours, and then please share your screen and then start your pitch, please.
In a bit. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. This is Rashid. I've been in the logistics space for quite a while now. Worked in predominantly in Uganda, but previously in Europe, still in the logistics space. We currently run in conventional logistics business within Uganda, but later on we want to expand within the East African area. But just to give you background about DRAZO, we are incorporated in Uganda and registered in Canada. We're solving a couple of challenges that are being faced by farmers in Uganda. Just before I get to the challenges, our services, we transport cargo by air, by sea, by land, by warehouse. We warehouse the cargo, both cold storage and dry. We customs clear cargo, and we're going to start a fulfillment business model, business sector within our business. We move both agricultural inputs and produce that are grown in several places within Uganda. Move it from the farmland to the capital city warehouse, and when need be to export to the seaport of Mombasa, we facilitate end-to-end logistics requirements for farmers and commodity traders. The problem that is being faced by most farmers in Uganda is visibility. Once cargo has been loaded on a truck, that's the stop of what they see. Then there's tedious process of contacting so many people to do one simple challenge as transportation. Security of the cargo that they load on 2 trucks is not guaranteed. The couple of middlemen between the actual producer, the transporter, the person who will do the clearance, and then finally the warehouse company. That increases the cost of doing logistics in Uganda in the agro logistics sector by over 20%. Business is done on cash basis. Once cargo is loaded or once it's picked or delivered, it is paid cash to the driver. Data that is collected, like the volume of cargo that has been collected and delivered, transported and warehoused, is non-existent. There isn't insurance of cargo that has been transported or is being warehoused. And basically it's costly to do business in the agro sector, the agriculture sector or commodity sector. Because when there is delay or damage of cargo while in transit, it costs the end user or the trader. The solution. We are creating an app that we include all the 4 sectors of logistics: the air, sea, land, warehousing, and customs clearance. Our solution is to bring visibility to cargo being moved from point A to destination. The payments are going to be through the bank card or mobile money. So the issue of being cheated is eliminated. There's data security. Once everything is loaded onto the app, it is only the transporter and the cargo owner that knows the details of the cargo. We're going to ensure the cargo while in transit or in warehousing under our once we move it, once it's been handed over to us, we'll ensure the cargo. We shall facilitate e-commerce. There will be a portion for the farmer to transact with the third party, the buyer, for his commodities, and it's flexible. The farmer will be able to type or request or choose a service that he needs in one app.
How many left?
There's artificial intelligence advantages. There's bidding process showing fluidity of the process. There's backhaul. There's value-added services, and also we have the 3 sectors that will be generating money. We are already generating income. We have over 249,000 for the last year, and the year before we had 210,000. The funds, once we get the funds, we'll be using them to finalize our mobile app to enhance payments, warehousing, insurance, marketing, and human resource. Just to run you through, this is our team, me, the CEO. We have a COO, a CFO, and a CTO. Just to bring it to speed about our app, we already have a working app. Once you log in, the details of sign up, business or personal account, and then you can choose what you want: air freight, sea freight, warehousing, land freight, or customs clearance. If we can go on land, you choose origin, destination of cargo. You choose the type of truck that you need to move your commodity. We'll give you visibility of the cost, the medium, the large truck. Where once you book, then you can also choose the payment mode, either you're paying by card or otherwise. Thank you so much for listening to me. I have quite a lot to present, but for time, I thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashid, for your presentation. Okay, so now it's time for Q&A. So you can stop your screen sharing now. And then, yeah, we'll start from judges for questions.
So, and how exactly do you guys use the artificial intelligence here?
Sorry, I'm failing to minimize my screen.
Yeah, you can simply stop screen share mode.
All right. All right.
Right. So the question was,
Yes.
how do you guys use artificial intelligence in your project?
For example, when the farmer logs onto the app, downloads the app, and puts in their details, we download, the farmer downloads the app and the transporter downloads the app. Now, there are two sections to this. There is the back end that is run by the team at DRAZO, and then there is the other end of the transporter, where the transporter directly interfaces with either the end user or the farmer. Now, artificial intelligence, basically there will be the farmer picks the kind of truck that he needs or the kind of service that he needs. All this is run in back end on the server. We have a running server. Our app will be active on the 15th of this month. That's when we're doing our first trial run. The prototype is already active. All we need to do is to launch it on the 15th. So all the details that the farmer, the quantity, the type of cargo that is moving, origin, destination, all this is saved, and it is only accessible by the farmer themselves, because there is there will be a portion of it, there will be a portion that will be stored on his side of the user interface.
Right. So you mentioned that you are making some money already.
Correct.
At the same time, you've mentioned that you only have a prototype of the app. So
Correct.
how do you make the money now?
We're using conventional types of methods of transportation at the moment.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Right. So on my side, I just wanted to understand a bit on the farmer side. So what would you say, or rather, how do you envision the split of commercial versus smallholder farmers? And majorly, my question is coming in from the bit where the app itself, I think it would need internet. And do you think internet or data connectivity will be a limitation to using your product?
Yes. So what we decided, thank you so much for the question. What we thought is to build an app that favors the internet connectivity, and then also USSD codes. Now, the USSD codes, we are in talks with the service provider that it will be on zero cost. The farmer, all they need is to have a phone and type a code, and the code will show them a drop-down menu of the type of truck and the type of service that they require. So with the USSD code module, they wouldn't need to have internet, and then those with smartphones, we use the internet.
Right, and out of the three products that you offer, the warehousing, customs, and the last mile transportation solution, what would you say are farmers mostly demanding?
Transportation.
And so just a follow-up on that transportation question to understand how competitive your model is. Do you think over time farmers can circumvent, and farmers and transporters can circumvent the platform and with each other? Or so I'm trying to understand basically what are the unique selling points of your product such that farmers and transporters will still want to stay on the platform to interact.
Perfect. Our unique selling point, our uniqueness into the thing of agro logistics, we are the only company that has built an app that has everything logistics in one space. That is one. Two, if the farmers can circumvent and decide to deal directly with the transporter, they lose on two issues. One, they lose on security. Remember, we onboard transporters that have been vetted. That is one. Two, there's insurance. So whatever business that is done on the app is insured. Then three, there's data. We save them whatever transportation that we do for them or whatever service we do or offer. there is a backup for that service. And then there is also an app within the app that has basic accounting procedures that allows the farmer calculate how much they'll be making, how much it will cost to transport, how much it will cost to customs clear, how much it will cost them to warehouse. So this 360 presentation to the farmer will give them much more organization to budget and to budget a task prior to getting into it. What has been happening, the use of so many brokers in between, they inflate the cost of doing business. But if everything is on one place, managed by one team, they're much better off benefiting while on the app than not being on the app.
Okay, quite clear. Thanks a lot for that, Rashid.
Mr. Rashid, I have one question. My question is on aggregation. You know, transporting goods, as we know, it's mainly profitable when it's transported in bulk. You cannot, let's say, lease a 30 tons truck and transport 1 ton or 2 tons alone. It will not break even. So, and knowing our smallholders, farmers across Africa, they tend to have small harvest. Not so many can maybe have 30 tons at once. So while they need to transfer their produce to markets, but they sometimes lack the required quantity, let's say, to fill transportation on their own. So what methods do you have to make sure that you can aggregate farmers, the one who wants to transport 2 tons, the one who wants to transport 1 ton, the one who wants to transport 10 tons into a single delivery, so that it can be profitable both for them and for you? Thank you.
Thank you too. We have a regional warehouse system, and on the app there is a truck type. There is 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 15 up to a 30-ton truck. At the time of placing the order, the farmer has a choice to book a truck that fits their load. Now, in the event the smallest truck is 5 tons, I give an example, 5 tons, and the farmer has maybe 700 kilograms, we can co-load. We have, if only I had time to run you through the nitty-gritties of co-loading on the same move. What we do, we for example, it is an immediate, it is instant real time. Now, in the event that we don't have that cargo to fill that particular truck, we can co-load with another farmer. Now, in the event there isn't another farmer to move, to take up the extra space to cover the cost of fuel and truck hire, we can move. Remember, we're doing business on economies of scale. We first collect the produce on mini warehouses, and then later on move with a bigger capacity truck to the main warehouse in Kampala. Now, in that case, we won't make a loss. We will benefit on 3 areas. We'll benefit on customs clearance, we'll benefit on transportation, we'll benefit on warehousing. Remember, all this is done in favor of the farmer, trying to cut costs and give them value for money. And if this whole entire system is well programmed, we'll be able to save the farmer middlemen. Yes, we may charge slightly more, but he will be assured that my cargo won't be contaminated. In the event that it is or it is stolen, this company will compensate me for the value.
Okay, I think we can finish the Q&A session for DRAZO. So Rashid, thank you very much for your presentation, also a kind answer to the questions from judges. So now we are finished with all 5 teams' pitches, and now it's time for our judges to finalize the decision on who is going to be a winner. So actually, I shared the link for a separate call for the judges to connect and then have a separate conversation to for the final decision. So Vitaly and Zauro and Jacqueline, you guys can leave from this Zoom and then connect to a link that I shared in the chat room in Zoom here. And then once you've done with your final decision and come back to this room. And I will give you just around 5 or 7 minutes. I think, well, you guys can make quite quick a decision because I saw your scoring card. Perhaps, it'll be easier for you guys to make the final decision because you've got all the scores here. All right. Okay. So in the meantime, while our judges make the final decision, I'm going to have a little bit of chat with our finalists. So I invite you to turn on your camera and then just to have a little bit of chat on some of the challenges and some of the opportunities that you guys are facing now as a AI startup, is particularly in the area of the agriculture and AI. Okay, so everybody's on here? All right, wonderful. Okay, so I just wanted to have just one quick question with you guys. Everybody's okay? Everybody's okay? Okay, I can see a little bit of noise, but it's fine. Okay, so basically, agriculture is one of the most traditional. I think that my voice is kind of echoed from one of you guys. Maybe you guys can just turn off your microphone for now, and then when you speak, and then you can turn on your camera, turn on the microphone. Yeah. Okay, so agriculture is, as you guys know, so one of the most traditional industry, right? But nowadays it's facing tremendous challenges and also needs a lot of innovations, and due to like the global, food crisis, environmental challenges, and et cetera, right? So in your opinion, I just wonder what's the biggest barrier or challenges for especially startups like you guys in such a traditional industry using the AI? So just to share with yourselves on what are the really biggest challenges and barriers that you are facing and how you are overcoming. So maybe I can start with the Rashid, if you're ready. Rashid, are you there? Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. Hey.
The challenges in this part of the world, especially when we're going digital, when we're doing digital logistics and things to do with the internet coverage, especially in Uganda, is limited. And yes, we're pushing for digitization of logistics in East Africa, but education is key. The literacy levels in the country are not that up to speed as the rest of Africa, and then also the infrastructure itself. The roads that we transport these goods from are not the best. Time and again we are faced with disease and a couple of other things. As you may know, there's a couple there's Ebola that has been detected in Uganda. So these challenges keep coming up, and all we need to do is devise means of, irrespective of the challenges, food is essential to the continuity of humanity. We need to store the food properly. We need to manage the wastage. We need to, whoever is in the business has to benefit. Other than eating it, we need to make money and be able to have a good livelihood in the entire agriculture ecosystem. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, all this makes sense. So basically, infrastructure is one aspect of the challenge, but at the same time, there is some kind of digital literacy and an education. That some of the soft skills, of course, are needed, while also we need like technical infrastructure. So basically, I think that's a really general challenge that maybe quite a lot of other also founders in Africa and developing countries are facing. What do you think, Mangi? Also, do you also have a similar values? So is there any additional, the things that you can share?
Yes, sure. If I speak from the Kenyan perspective, which I know also affects quite a number of African countries, but particularly in the sub-Saharan Africa, unless you're dealing with crops that are considered key crops in the country, like cash crops, where farmers are well structured as a result of government policy. For instance, farmers who are doing coffee, products like tea, in West Africa, probably cocoa, things like that. Where farmers are doing other crops like vegetables and the staples, the market is completely unstructured. It is, I don't want to use the word liberalized, it's everyone for himself, if I could say that. And one of the challenges we note is that trying to bring these people together becomes a challenge. Now, in our sector where we play as an irrigation company, for a farmer to procure irrigation systems, which are expensive compared to things like seed and fertilizer, they need to have gone up to a certain level, up to a certain scope. But I still see this challenge with them. They'll come and procure irrigation systems because they have seen their neighbor doing it, and you have to walk with him to his farm and explain the whole thing. So it has been left to the private sector to run the show. We do not have proper structures at a national level or at a regional government level for a lot of these crops, besides what the old traditional crops that government will attach value to. And for us, that has been quite a challenge when you're in the private sector and you have to deal with people on a one-to-one basis, as opposed to either organized into cooperatives or in a more structured format. Thank you.
Well, so actually, this is a great insight, I think. So, Emeka, what do you think? Do you agree with the Emongi? And then is there any other things?
Yeah, absolutely. The infrastructure deficits, both for connectivity and for roads, the literacy level of farmers, the fact that the farmers are fragmented. But then there's yet another big one, and that's the fact that you're dealing with people who typically cannot afford what you're offering them because of their very, very low purchasing power, right? So it's a big problem. Wonderful solutions everywhere, but who pays for it? How do you invert your business model in such a way that you're able to cater to them? And if you do so, where are you going to find the finance to be able to scale that up? Because there's a limit to what you can do off your balance sheet. So those are some of the problems. And I think it's something that resonates across sub-Saharan Africa.
Right. Yeah. So I think also, Asajang, you also have the pretty much similar, challenges in terms of literacy, infrastructure, but basically these are not something that only just a few startups can solve. So perhaps you also have some, thoughts and ideas of how some also public sectors, government, international organizations, startups can collaborate to solve these issues. And perhaps you've got also some of the ideas on how you actually overcome these challenges. So can you share with us a little bit about your own ideas on how to solve these issues?
Yeah, let me take a stab at it. I think the problems that face African startups in general and then in particular, agri-tech startups, is that we are expected to solve problems that ordinarily governments are supposed to solve. And you are not the government. You don't have the finance of the government, you don't have the reach of the government. But I also believe that through partnership and collaboration, we can be able to extend our reach and impact. So for instance, Grekkon here does irrigation. I don't do irrigation, but I have complementary suites of services. Now, if Grekkon can focus on building irrigation, and I can work with him to extend my services, and he likewise with me, it creates a much needed synergy. And then what he does is that he also has useful data of people he has worked with that allows you to know you don't have to start from scratch in terms of data and all that. But if we are working in fragmented silos, all the data is also siloed, and there is no meaningful or useful insights that you can build upon. So I think that for Africa, strategic partnerships is actually very, very key and crucial if we are going to hack this problem.
Yeah, it's very interesting, as you said, you guys have a different expertise and different strengths, and then you guys also need to grow all together. So basically, you guys have the same goal to scale of your solutions, but you have a different expertise. So if you can make some kind of synergy among all these different expertise, and then we can solve the problem, and then a lot of other sectors and stakeholders can engage, and then we can build a small thing. So how about you, Asajang? Do you agree? Of course. Do you also, if you have any other? Yes. So he lost the connection, so perhaps he reconnect. I can continue. Yeah. So especially the Amicus ideas on some kind of collaboration between the different experts and the different expertise is a very interesting idea. And so I just wanted to hear from Asajang also about his own thoughts and insights and idea on these challenges once she reconnected. And then also Vitaly, I just wonder whether the judges made a final decision. Oh, you are here, and then the other two judges are still fighting? No.
Well, I think Zahra is here as well. And Jacqueline, I don't know where she is.
Okay, all right, yeah. All right, so Asajang, so I've been just waiting for you to reconnect. So just wanted to hear from your side on any ideas and thoughts on those challenges and how we overcome altogether.
Oh, all right. Yeah, in Cameroon, mostly the one of the, or I can list like three things. The first one is the trust. When you're building some things like this, like AI startups or AI product, people are not trusting it directly like that, especially local people. So you have to fight in order to show them that no, this product is a good product and it solves a lot of problems. Secondly is the infrastructure. As you see right now, I have a lot of difficulties to be connected. This is because I've moved to the village to test the product before moving back to the capital of the country. So secondly is the infrastructure. It's difficult for young developers and even startups to have like connectivities, a best place to work, open space, things like that. And lastly is one of the major that most of them have talked about is the financial part. So when you launch a startup, yes, it's true that for the first 2-3 years you have to struggle before, but you need capitals too. So investors are not really investing in our country. I don't know why, but this is because the lack of infrastructure. Most of them are going to Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Ghana, but this part of country, this Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Gabon, Cameroon, Chad, is a bit behind. So that's why youth like us, we are trying to fight at least to make a change. So thank you.
Thanks a lot for your also excellent insight here. So basically what I think some kind of infrastructure, some kind of really big thing is something that, you know, the government and also international organizations like the ITU should make more efforts to improve, you know, the functions and the capacity of all this infrastructure. But at the same time, as Emeka suggested, I think it would be a very interesting idea to form on some kind of strong alliance of all these small and medium-sized enterprises and the startups together and regularly talk to each other and they share their expertise, and then we can build some kind of synergy and not just only focus on their own business, but also just expand their views and then to work together with the other expertise to really, you know, make the synergy so that we can, you know, move forward one step by step. So I think that is a very interesting, you know, balance. One side, you know, this that we can form more like, you know, alliance to, you know, make ourselves stronger, you know, by combining all, you know, different expertise in one form. And the other side, you know, there must be some kind of collaboration with between the governments, international organizations, some big corporates to invest more in infrastructure. So I think this is a really general thought that I actually learned from your side, and it's a very interesting idea. And I think that we can, you know, move on to that level in some time in the future. I think. Right, so now the decision was made by our judges. So Zauro and Jacqueline, Vitaly, please turn on your camera here. And then who is going to announce the result? I think Jacqueline would be the right person, because the Finca Ventures also is the official partner of this session as a sponsoring. All right, so okay. I'm nervous. Everybody's nervous on the result. Yeah, please.
I know. I've been put in such a hard spot, honestly, but I really want to thank the judges, both Vitale and Zahoro, for also taking the time to judge this startups. And I really want to thank all the 4 founders. You have such brilliant models, and can't wait to see them scaling across the region, but there only had to be one winner. So we did pick one winner, being Kitovu. So Emeka, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Emeka.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. So, well,
is it the part where I get to say something?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, despite the fact that one winner was chosen, I want to tell you that you're on the right track and you're building something excellent for the continent. I think we should connect. I think we are stronger together. I think ultimately the problem we are facing in Africa and even beyond, the problem of food security, is not one that one person can solve. And I think that if we collaborate, we'll be able to grow faster. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, and so congratulations to Emeka. So as I presented at the beginning of this session, so you will have several additional follow-up opportunities with Finca and some of also other experts within our AI for Good network to help you grow. But of course, as Jacqueline said, all the other 3 teams so was that, you know, came up with the very novel ideas, and then we hope you guys also can leverage these opportunities. And also, you guys already have all the contacts of the IT expert on this, including me. So you guys can contact anytime if you need any support and help from the AI focus side. And then I would definitely be happy to help you grow more, and then, you know, help you reconnect and, you know, network with any other interested stakeholders and then potential partners and some business experts. All right, great. So thanks a lot for all you guys. And so we've nearly done. Okay, so we've done a nearly 1 hour and a 45-minute session here. And then the great job to all of you guys. And thanks a lot to all the judges, all the founders, and to keep in touch and keep moving on. And then thanks a lot again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for participating in today's AI for Good session. We hope you've learned something new, innovative, and engaging in today's event. We now encourage you to continue the conversation on the live video wall in the neural network. Here you can ask questions, like and comment, share links, complete the poll, connect with interesting profiles, or speak one-on-one using the chat and video function. We invite you to explore the lobby, try the smart matching quiz, visit the virtual exhibits, build your personalized AI for Good program. Let's shape the future of AI for Good.